Hey, good morning. You are back with the crew. Good morning. I have, as you've seen the title, I want to talk about how I got into not just crypto, but how I got into XRP specifically. Because I actually didn't like XRP in the beginning. A lot of people told me, and I was told by some influencers at the time that I believed in, that it was the banker's coin. It's a banker. It's corrupt. It's part of the cabal. Oh my God! To avoid that coin. They're corrupt. They're gonna blow everything up, and you're gonna lose all your money. Well, that was 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago now. I'll give you a little brief. I started really looking into crypto in 2016. I did my due diligence as best I could and purchased early 2017. I want to say it was like February of 17. Okay. I didn't buy any XRP. Wished I had. Holy smokes. I didn't for a couple of years because there were so many ICOs and there were so many coins and so much going on. I just kind of got to the point where it's like, you know what? Everybody I was listening to wasn't buying that, so why am I buying it? And I got stuck in that loop, that you just don't purchase things that maybe later you look in life and you're like, wow, I should have bought more of that. So this is a story about my journey and how I became not just confident. I have a knowing knowledge and I have some inside information I've shared at different times about the back end nuts and bolts of what's going on with XRP. It's not a news flash. It's in some, I think Brad Garlinghouse talked about it not long ago. I think it's over 31 nations now are running some form of banking system on XRP. If you don't own any of it, and you own crypto, you'd better listen to the rest of this video because this is the mistake I made. Okay. I was into Bitcoin and I'm still into Bitcoin. I know, Bitcoin's old, it's tired. People that buy Bitcoin don't get crypto, and I know all that. I've heard all that. You can still put in the comments though, it's cool. We can debate it. I'm good with that. But I own a lot of different coins. I don't own a ton of any one coin, but I will tell you that if I said my major holding of in one coin, as far as the amount of tokens, XRP is within the top 3. Okay, let's just put it to you like that, in dollar amount and in digits or in coins. So that's the punchline to the whole thing. But where I'm really going with this is my journey, how I started to really open my eyes was utility coins. When I started really understanding what happened with what survived the dot-com bubble, right? Who survived that? Function, stick-to-itiveness, people that had a good product and stayed with it. They didn't get sucked up or caught up in the hype. They stayed with their idea. They stayed with their fundamentals, their technology, and what they knew, and they knew it well. And I couldn't avoid always, because I know what that means to be at the top 10 of all the coins for all these years. And after about 3 years of looking at that, I was less than that. It was like 2 years. I was like, XRP isn't going anywhere, right? Like, what's going on with that? Why is that, why isn't it the number one coin if it's the banker's coin and they control the whole crypto world and it's all, a scam? And why isn't it number one? Why is it, always been number 2 or 3 or 4? Well, those are the kind of things that after a while you're like, I can't listen to my fellow contributors here. I need to do my own research. And I started to really get into the coin, I'd say, in 2018 when everything dropped. and I started looking around the board. I have this piece of paper. I've got to show it to you guys one day. You'd love it. I've got like 50 coins labeled and what their prices were in 2018. It's mind blowing. I was like, oh my God, they were so cheap. And I know we think they're really cheap today, but nothing compared to what they were then, you know. So I started doing my research, and I started looking into who they were, and I started looking into what is it about this company out of Silicon Valley, Ripple, that really made a difference and had a belief in XRP to where it could say, okay, we'll invest in XRP. We like that technology. I like where that idea is going. I'm going to put my resources and my people behind it, because that is the order it went in. And XRP was around before the Ripple merge, as we all know, but it was sort of a lot. I don't mean it was lost and wandering along by itself, but it needed some guidance, some leadership, and it needed some fundamental, you know, some funds and some fundamental support. And it just didn't really have it in the beginning. But then once it did, you know, I believe that was 2014. You guys will all know down below. It really started to become sound in what it was. So in 2018, I started looking more and more into it. I started looking into who Brad was. I didn't like his banking global connections, to be completely honest, but I know a lot of those people. I shouldn't say it like that. I've met and worked for many, many very, very powerful bankers in my lifetime. And I know that they're all not corrupt. And I know that they're not all evil. So that really helped me a lot, that, okay, well, he's rubbing elbows with those people. That doesn't mean that he's like the problem with the world, or he's, you know, suppressing mankind in any way. So once you get past that issue and that barrier, and you start looking into, well, how many nodes do they run, and why is that technology important to us? And wow, they've applied for patents, and they've gotten some patents, and they have 500 employees. They have I want to say Brad was, God, I want to say in 2017 one of the richest people in the world. I might be misremembering that, but he was getting up there. I know that Ripple or XRP took off, and he owned a bunch of it. So I know that, yeah, amazing. So all of those things contributed to me doing more homework, which is something I urge all of you to do. Don't just watch my channel or somebody else's channel and just go, oh yeah, I'll buy what he bought. No. I know you're busy. I know sometimes you don't have a lot of time, but you really need to dig into this stuff, and you need to figure out who they are, what they are. So a couple of the criteria that I use, and I mentioned this before in my show, and it's so important. Okay, you need to have something that you believe in. Okay, and I always go with my first one, the strongest. My gut. What is my gut telling me? What are my emotions? What do I feel when I think about it? What do I feel when I think about its future? What do I think about what it's doing for the future of all of us and mankind? All of that, and my emotions behind it. Are they positive? Are they negative? Am I just listening to people tell me negative things, or am I feeling them for myself? I know gut feeling is strange to a lot of people, but let me tell you, it has served me my entire life, and I'm only just learning how important it is and how important it could be in your life. So number one is my gut about everything. Then I really look at the code. Who wrote the code? You know, what script is it on? What are they? Does it have a future? Is that code obsolete? Are the people that wrote it improving it, understanding it? Is it open source? Is it decentralized? All of these are the technical sides of things that honestly is not really my strong point, but boy, I will tell you, after 6 years, you absorb a lot of this. And I have gotten a lot better over the years about understanding what it all means to our future. All of that came up aces with that token, with that coin, sorry. All of it. My gut started to really feel it. I started to do the research. It had the army, as we know, behind it. And that's number 3 on my list, really. It's what's its social presence? What's its social media? How many people create that fundamental strength foundation of who it is? Not what it is, not what it can do, not how fast it is, not how secure it is, transaction speed, not cost. I'm talking the people behind it. Joe Schmo, like you and I, who are behind the coin. Does it have that emotional strength or power that social media and social consciousness around the planet wants to see it succeed? Massive to me. That's number 3 on my list. Think about how important that is. If everybody and their brother has decided that whatever the product is dangerous or bad for humanity, it will not thrive. It just won't thrive in the world. I don't care how fast it is or how secure it is. So the social backing that XRP has behind it was a huge, big factor for me. But I still yet, think about this now, I still had yet to purchase any of it. And I'm having 1, 2, 3 already. But who was behind? Can I call it lies? Can I call it misinformation? Can I figure out who wanted it to fail? Why? Why would they want it to fail? What did they have to lose? Who were those people who were saying it was only for bad stuff? You know, and that's when my strengths really come in, is because I know there are more than one family. I know that if you want to call them cabal, whatever word you want to use for the powers that be, are, as you guys know in this show, there are more than one power at the top, and they are in battle. Okay, so they're gonna make the other product that they don't support or they don't own as much of seem inferior or to be the problem, and they'll put that out on social media, and people will be either paid believe it or not, to speak poorly of different products. I think there's a lot of that going on right now about Bitcoin, and a lot of it going on right now about Ethereum and Cardano. There's so many coins that people are told, oh, don't like that coin. Oh, if you like that coin, you're not with me. This is not elementary school. That we're not on a playground here, kids. This is the real deal. And if your coin is in the top 10, there's a damn good reason for it, okay? And that was really the clincher for me. But I did a video, and not that many people watched it. I guess it got a couple of thousand likes, or views. But I did a video, and I had a daydream, and it was so powerful. I don't get a lot of these, but when this one was a daydream, conscious, wide awake dream, okay? I only had a couple of these in my lifetime. I'm not a dreamer. I am a dreamer, obviously, but I'm not a psychic. We all have different gifts, and I don't think psychic ability is one of mine, okay? Really, my biggest gift is my passion and my compassion for my fellow man. It's limitless. It's funny, I'm not making this video because of this reason, but there's many people that are have questioned my, wow, you're new to XRP, you don't know what's going on. You're like a new guy just trying to get a bunch of clicks. I love you, brother. I just love you, man. Keep it real. Stay cynical. Stay, true to yourself. And there's a lot of people, oh, how do I know if you know these important people? How do I know that you're just not scamming me for my likes and my clicks? Look, okay, I get that. I really do. But I have to be very, very honest with you. This isn't my life. I love YouTube and I love the community that you and I have created together. This isn't my life. I'm a very busy man and I have a lot of things going on. This is fun. I'm really enjoying this together, and we're growing and probably going to prosper immensely together. And that'll be a lot of fun as well. But stop and think about your question, because a bunch of people have asked it and it's a valid question. Well, what if I was a guy who had a YouTube channel and he knew a couple of important high-level people, we'll say, and he had the information and they didn't share it with you? Why would I do that? You understand your question? Well, how do I know that you know these people? Well, doesn't matter whether or not you know these people. Trust me, I've known a lot of very important bankers and people in my lifetime. Okay, I just have. It's been my path. Okay, but stop and think about why would I not share that with you? You have to take the risk, I suppose, of, well, maybe he's not telling the truth. Maybe he's just hyping us all. Maybe he's just trying to get clicks. Okay, but I could not share the information with you, and that would be what to you? You'd still be in the dark either way, right? So I just want you to think about that. Not what this video is about necessarily, but so that dream, that vision I had about XRP really got me down the road of, wow, what does it mean? Because the dream is about railroad tracks. And what are railroad tracks? Well, I kind of knew XRP was railroad tracks, if you will. I knew it was a financial distribution network, if you will. Okay, that's about what I knew about it. I knew quite a bit more about it than that, but you know, that was the premise of my knowledge of it. So when that hit me, I started buying XRP, I want to say in 2018. Okay, I'm not sure about that, but I believe it was in 2018. I bought a ton of it. Not a ton, because I don't own a ton of it, but the majority of what I bought was, it went up to like 75, 80 cents, and then it dropped all the way down to 20 cents. And when it hit 20 cents, I was like, this thing is way too valuable to be at 20 cents. So I bought a bunch of it at 20 cents. That was the last time I purchased it, okay? And that was 2019, a big chunk. And then I pretty much dollar cost average and do some other stuff. And I've traded some other coins for more XRP and more of the utility tokens. Now I am rambling on. Where I really want to talk about is these utility tokens are so important for us to own. I used to think that you wanted to own network, okay, which is still true. You need the freeway on-ramp and off-ramps because Wall Street is going to control the on-ramp and off-ramp. And if you don't see that coming, you need to watch my last video. That they're going to control those on-ramps and off-ramps. That's why it's really important, the hash graphs and the, you know, Algorand's and even the Cardonos and like Polkadots. All of these are avenues for us to transact through networking. And if we don't have those, it's going to be very difficult because the centralized system is going to do their best to make sure that all the coins go through their avenues. And once they go through their avenues, they can retain them and then give you basically a replica, if you will, okay? Or they won't let you pull it off their exchange once it gets inside their exchange. So anyway, XRP is going to crush it. We all know that. I am a big fan of XRP. I don't think there's a more important coin out there. I really understand its true value more than I ever have. I'm not new to this. I've been studying it since 18, and I have told many stories of all of my friends who have come to me, and the first thing they ask me is, Alan, you're a crypto guy. What's the coin I should have? What's the coin I shouldn't live without? It's always XRP first. And I'm not just saying that for any other reason than this writing's already on this wall. It's out. It's everywhere now. And this is obvious. And this is not even everything has risk, but there is nothing more solid and more secure and more fast and speed and technology than what those people have, and the way they built it, and the networking that they've done, and the banking systems, and the ISO 222, and you guys know a lot of that stuff. All of that is set in stone. It's not if, it's when. Okay, so it's the coin you need to own. I didn't believe that 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I didn't believe that. And I believe that now. Through the ability to say to myself, look myself in the mirror and say, why don't I own that coin? Maybe I'm not listening to those people. Maybe those people really have something. And I'd urge you, if you only own XRP, to look into other projects. I'd look into Algorand. I would look into Hedera Hashgraph. I would look into many of these coins. You probably already have XLM if you have an XRP. XDC obviously is amazing upside potential. But if you don't own Cardano because you don't like Charles Hoskinson, again, we're not in the schoolyard here. This is real life. You're playing for the real marbles here. And that man and that team is creating something very real. Very real. And it has a very, very bright future. Do I think it's going to happen tomorrow? No. Unfortunately, I'd like to see a system like his succeed tomorrow, but it's going to take a long time, unfortunately. And I know all you people that don't like Bitcoin, I get it. I get why you don't. I just think that there's something about Bitcoin that you need to understand if you're not. If you can't at least say, oh, well, I see its application, then you have some homework to do. That's all I have to say about that. All right, guys, this is just a video answering a bunch of questions. Hey, Alan, how long have you owned Bitcoin or XRP? And, how did you get into it? Why did you get into it? And what research did you do? Those are the 4 things that I always research when I come to a new coin. And I try not to buy anything emotionally, just on a whim. Can't say I always do that because I kind of bought Shiba on a whim. There's an admission for you. I bought some damn Shiba a couple of years ago. Anyway, I think it's even or up from where it was, from where I bought it. But I know that was a knee jerk. That was not financial advice. But anyway. All right, guys, just sharing another cold morning with you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day out there, and I hope I answered some of your XRP questions about my journey and how I got here to where I am today. Okay, guys, with that, I'm out. Wow. Why couldn't I just do that in like 2 sentences? I mean, really, do I have to just babble on like some Pez dispenser? Jeez.